Hello everyone and welcome to my guide for the Enlisted map editor. Before this begins, I'm going to say that I've been messing around with this map editor on twitch.tv/HeyQuadro, and you guys should drop a follow. Come on over there, help me out, help me make these maps. It's a lot of fun. So before we do anything else, we have to be able to open the mods editor. We do that by coming here to mods editor and mods editor, Windows 32, and you double click mods editor, and you're going to open that up just like that. Now I'm going to be following the basic tutorial that Darkflow put out. I'm just going to be recreating that so you guys can see each individual movement, and I'm going to be adding in some extra stuff on top of that. So this is meant to basically get you guys, a toe in the water, dip your feet in the water a little bit on how to mess around with the map editor and how to kind of play around with it and get your feet wet and be able to start making some missions in the editor. So we're going to go to new scene here. We're going to choose Tunisia. You can do whichever one you want. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to do Tunisia, and I'm going to name this YouTube. That's how we open this up. We've now made our level. We've now made our scene is what this is called. And we're good to go. So there we go. We're at this cool screen. We're going to hit F12. And again, guys, I just want to get stuff down. I want to get a level and objective down so you guys can see how it's done and you guys can start building from there and start making some really cool levels. So let's start off with how you do things. So after you've hit F12, you're going to hit spacebar, and that's going to activate free camera mode. You see that at the top, and then you can move around with your mouse and you can hold shift to zoom around the map just like this, right? You need to be out of free cam mode to be able to do anything though. So then you're going to hit space again to exit free cam mode. And then we've got some stuff at the top here, right? So we've got find entity, right? This is how we can search for stuff. So if you want to search for the level object, right, and start changing some stuff in the level object, you can see everything in the level object here. This is going to be useful for finding specific things within the world that are hidden objects and might not be obvious on where they are spawned at or where they might be, especially once you start making some more complex levels. Then we have the select. This just lets you grab stuff and select it. Once you have something selected, you can hit P to open up the parameters, and you can see all of these different little parameters and variables and things like that. Don't worry about these right now. Feel free to check through them, but I will tell you everything that you need to do to get your feet wet and to get a mission started in whatever map you guys want to do. But just understand that this is where you're able to change tons and tons of stuff. If you need to move stuff, you can hit W and move it just like this along these axes. You just click and drag up and down, left and right, forward, backwards along these three 3D axes. You can rotate along the same axes. Boom, 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 right? Like a saw blade. All right. And then you can scale stuff. So if you want to scale stuff up the whole thing, you can scale just like this. Scales the entire object equally, or you can scale again along these axes or the in-between axes by doing this, right? So that is how we do that. If you want to delete an object, you just hit delete. Boom. You can always Control Z stuff if you make a mistake. So say you move this and you don't want it, you just Control Z and then it brings it back. Very easy. Finally, we have create entity. So if you wanted to create an entity like a vehicle, say you really wanted a Churchill 3 in your map, you can go here and you can click create entity, go to the tank section, and then just spawn some Churchills. Boom. These are now Churchills that people can play around in the game with. If you think that's cool and you want to do that, go for it. I love to see it. We're not going to be doing anything like that in this mission. We're going to be making the absolute most basic setup. And to do that, we are going to need to come here and we're going to need to make an objective. So what we're going to do is we're going to create entity. We're going to navigate ourselves to mission objective zones, and we're going to create a cap zone. A defend zone chained box, defend zone respawn base. We're going to click there, and that's our objective sitting right there. But that's a little small for us, so we're going to go ahead and scale that up. All right, we're gonna make this nice and big. That's way too big. There we go. And then we're going to move it. Now, this doesn't need to be perfect, guys. This is just, again, getting your feet wet. If you want to be a perfectionist and you want to get it exactly how you want it to be, you can definitely do that, and you are more than welcome to. But I'm not going to spend a bunch of time making these absolute perfect areas. We are, however, going to scale it up, make it the whole objective, scale it up. There we go. So we've got our objective. This is the objective. If you're anywhere inside this objective, you're capping the objective. But we've made the objective, but we haven't really done anything with it. It's just a zone. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to come into this area here, and there's a couple variables that we want to change. We want to change cap zone cap time. We're going to drop this all the way down to 5 seconds. The reason that we're doing this here, guys, is because later on when we're testing objectives, we want to be able to cap it really fast without having to go and manually cap it. Just make sure that before you guys publish this, you up the cap time. Our cap zone caption is going to be castle. You know, castle quad bro. This is a big castle quad bro. And then we're going to come down a little bit more to the cap zone icon. We're going to make it AAA. That's the basic one there. And then we can also need to look up only or cap zone only team can capture. We want the allies to be the attackers. Allies are team 1, so we're going to say only team 1 are able to capture this objective here. And then we need to do one last thing. This is something that you need to do on basically all of your game objects. You are going to go to group name and you're going to name it objective 1. Or you can name it whatever you want. If you want to name it sector 1, you can name it sector 1. If you want to name it Pop Tart 1, you can name it Pop Tart 1. Just make sure you guys remember what this is and make sure it is consistent with all of your spawns, vehicle spawns, you know, battle zones, gray zones. Everything that you want to be associated with this first objective here needs to be here. And the reason for that is because at the start of the game, we are going to activate everything that's part of objective 1 and turn all of them on, right? And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to press tab. We're going to come here to group. Whoopsies, I'm dumb. Tab, group activator, select group activator, open up the parameters with P, and we are going to do activator choice plus real objective 1, add value. And then we're going to set that value from 0 to 1. So basically what this is saying, guys, is at the beginning of the game, this object, the group activator, is going to look and it's going to make a choice out of these objects. Right now it's just objective 1, and it's going to do these. This is weight, right? This is the percentage chance that it gets picked. And so it's the only one, and so it's going to choose this one, and it's going to say activate everything that has group name objective 1. All of those things are going to get activated. So if you wanted to, you could theoretically add another objective, you know, objective 1.5 or something like that, that's over here, right? And then give them both a weight of 0.5, right? So then it's a 50-50 chance on which one activates. Okay, now we're not going to do that, but you could do that if you wanted to, and that's how you would do that. Now these guys here, this is group, or this is an objective. You can capture it, you can do all that fun stuff, but we can't really do anything else. We don't have spawns, right? We need spawns. So we're going to do mission respawns, and we're going to do respawn chooser, respawn team 1, and we're going to click here. Now we can't really see that very well. That just looks like everything else, and that could be really annoying. So we're going to come to toolbox, and we're going to click respawns in our toolbox right here, and that's going to highlight that for us, which is really useful. So now that that's highlighted, we're going to open up the parameters. We're going to name that objective 1. So then it gets activated like we mentioned before. And that's all we got to do for that. That's done. We're going to highlight it. We're going to hold shift and we're going to move it. What this does is copies it. So boom. Now we've got 3 possible respawn points for this group. We're going to grab one more and we're going to drag it over to the other side. And then we're going to click drop. That way people aren't spawning in the air. We don't want that. That's kind of annoying. And then we are going to open that parameter menu, and we're going to change respawn base group to 2. This is because it's a different objective. It's a different spawn group. So then now players are going to have the choice if they want to spawn on the left or if they want to spawn on the right. All right. Let's go ahead and add our vehicles while we're here. So we're going to add respawn chooser, respawn vehicle right there. Open it up. Give it a group name that you've been using and give it a team. This will be team 1's respawn vehicle. We did it. That's all good there. We're going to come to the other side and we're going to do the exact same thing that we just did for all that stuff. We're going to add a vehicle. We're going to add our respawn team 2's. Do it like that. Give this objective 1 and team 2. Highlight this. Objective 1. We've already got the team. We're going to make this respawn group 2. Go ahead and copy these. Boom. Boom. And we're going to come over here. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Objective 1. If I could spell. And then it's already respawn base group 1. So we're good there. And we're going to go copy these. There we go. And that's it. We've got our vehicle spawns. We've got our infantry spawns. We're lacking a gray zone. So let's do the gray zone next. So we'll come here to, actually we'll do the gray zone afterwards. Let's do our aircraft since we're already on this page. We'll do aircraft spawn. So aircraft in air spawn. We're going to drop this right here. Drag it up into the sky. Again, guys, you're going to want to put this in different spots than me. I'm just doing this quickly so I can show off how to do this. I'm not worried about the placement. We're going to name this objective 1. We're going to give this to team 2. And we're going to name this aircraft _fighter. The reason for that is that this will now only spawn our fighter aircraft. So then you can manage which ones you guys want to be spawning at a time. Then we're going to copy it. And we're going to change the copy to aircraft assault. That way now we have an aircraft assault spawn and an aircraft fighter spawn. We need a resupply zone. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll come here to all resupply zone in air. Spawn that right there. Move it back. Not that far. Come back. Probably scale it down a little bit. Push it up into the air. Open this up. We don't need to give this an objective group name. We are going to give it the team 2, so only team 2 can resupply there. There you go. There's our spawns for team 2. We're going to come over to the other side, and we're going to do, again, the exact same thing. Resupply in air zone. Drop it just like that. Give this for team 1. Scale it down. Raise it up. Boom. And then we will go back to our mission respawns and do our good old respawn aircraft in air. Make sure you do the respawn aircraft in air. If you don't do respawn aircraft in air, it's going to be bad. Your aircrafts are going to spawn on the ground with no speed and then fall and die. Group name, objective 1. That's not what we wanted. Objective 11. Eesh. Aircraft fighter. Team 1. Then we're going to copy it. And we're going to change fighter to assault. We're done. So there you go, guys. We've got everything we kind of needed. We've got our vehicle spawns. We've got our plane spawns. We do need our gray zone. So the last piece of the puzzle is going to be the gray zone. We're going to come here to create entity, mission battle area, box battle area. Drop that down right about there or so, wherever you guys want to. And then we're going to scale it up to whatever size we want it to be. So we can do this. This will be for the, we'll make this the defenders one first. So we'll make it, I don't know. That seems fine. That seems fine. Rotate it. Move it over here. Probably need it to be bigger than this. Scale it up. And that seems fine. Maybe we can scale it a little bit more in this direction. There you go. Sure. And we're going to want to scale it up so people can actually go up and down. There you go. That's our gray zone. Let's open that up. We're going to give this group name, you guessed it, objective 1. You can change any of these other variables that you guys want to, and we'll do team 2. Now we can go ahead and just copy this pretty easily, save ourselves some time because this is a fairly good sized objective, or gray zone. And we'll just move it back just like that. It's more or less fine. We do need to change our variables. So we're going to go back here and change our battle area to team 1. And there you go. We've got our gray zones. Remember, you don't have to do a box gray zone. You can do other gray zones here. You can do, you know, a poly battle area that will put little points down. You can make a little bit more of an interesting battle area than just a box, but we're not going to be bothering with that today. It's not 100% necessary. Now, this is it, guys. We're done. Like, we did it. We can spawn and we can take this objective. You can see we've got 1,000 tickets. If you guys want to, you can go ahead and change some other variables for the teams. So if we press tab here and we open this up, we can go to team Tunisia allies plus team narrator, you know, whatever. And we can open up this variable. This is all the team. It's all the team information, right? So like the amount of teams or people on them, you can change what you get. You can change how many spawns you get. You know, this is all stuff that you guys can choose to change. Like squad spawn cost is currently 250. Team score is 200. So, you know, you'd have to go through like 10-ish tickets or 10 spawns or whatever. Again, you guys can change this however you guys choose to, and you can make these numbers wherever you want. But just understand that this is where all that stuff is at and where it's located. And the same thing for the other team, the Axis team as well. So if you want, maybe you even want a game where the Axis team has tickets, the defending team has tickets, you could do that. And that could be an interesting dynamic in game mode as well. But again, this is all set up here, guys. If we want to spawn, we totally can, and we can go and cap that objective, and we would be able to. Now, one thing that we do need to do here, guys, is we're going to want to click this objective here. And if we wanted to do another objective, we can go ahead and copy this objective. Say we want to drag it over here, right? This is where the next objective is. Obviously, you'd want this in a different place, but just say, you know, and we're going to want to give this a different name, right? So this would be, we're going to go to group. This is going to be objective 2. But how do we know that objective 2 is going to get activated? We don't have any way of activating it. So we're going to have to go back to our first objective, and we're going to go to our first objective, and this first thing here, cap zone activate after cap zone activate choice. We're going to press a plus, do real, and we're going to do objective. We're going to give it a weight of 1. Boom. And now we can bring in another spawn. Whoops. So let's give our attacking team a new spawn point, objective 2. And now, once this first zone gets captured, it's going to activate everything in objective 2. That'll be very, very good and very nice, and we'll be able to move on as we go through these objectives. So we can go ahead and save. We can test this out. We're going to restart to make sure everything is going to be how it is whenever we get into the game. It's going to boot it up, and you'll see just like this. Looks good. We're going to load up the game. We'll spawn as one of these squads. I haven't figured out how to reduce the stupid spawn timer. I'm sure there's a way somewhere in some parameter, in some variable, in some place. I'm sure there's a way of doing it. But as of right now, I have not found it. You got to wait it out. You'll see we'll spawn just like this. We've got our objective. We spawned where we wanted to. We have the choice of those 2 spawns. If we were to suicide and respawn, or we could have spawned as a tank or a plane. We're going to run on this objective, and you'll see why it's nice to have this cap quickly, because we'll be able to test it easier, right? So then now this is going to cap, and boom, everything activated. So you see the next objective is now activated, and you can also see we no longer see those respawns. We only see this respawn, right, which is floating in the air. Hilariously enough, we probably should have done that a little bit better. But if we suicide all these guys, of course I had to be the biggest squad possible, then you'll be able to see we will be able to choose this spawn point. And I think it's going to spawn us in the air, which is kind of funny. Probably should have tested that. Probably should have made that one a little bit better and paid a little bit more attention to that. You can see, whee, and then we do, nope, they died. Well, poor guys. So there you go. Probably want to fix that one, but we can go ahead and cap the next objective. You can see our tickets, you know, went down whenever we died. Everything is working as we want it to, obviously. Other than this, we can go ahead and just drop that down. And yeah, we can just continue iterating on what we have now, guys. You can move your cap zones. You can change the amount of tickets you have. You can change the amount of cap zones that a team needs to capture before they win the game. All those are in things that you have seen in this video, be it the level, be it the teams, the team objectives, or be it different spawns and things like that, that you guys may or may not want to spawn. I think you might even be able to spawn vehicles as you cap objectives. Do these have active? These have groups you can... I don't know if vehicles have groups. Nah, they don't have groups. How sad. So you won't be able to spawn. They'll just be later on and available. So Anyway, guys, that is it for this video here. I hope you guys learned a lot, and hopefully you guys have gotten your feet wet and you have a better idea on how to kind of maneuver around inside this mission editor, and hopefully you guys are going to be able to make some awesome maps and some cool maps and some interesting stuff out there. I look forward to seeing all of your guys's beautiful, horrible, terrible, amazing, disgusting, every adjective out there work. Truly. Trust me when I say that I know game development is hard and doing this stuff is not easy. And even if I make it look easy, guys, believe me, it is not. This is stuff that I have a lot of experience doing, and I've been doing for years now. So if you're struggling and you're it's taking you a while to get stuff, don't worry about it. Believe me, I've been there. We've all been there, and you got to start somewhere. So remember, guys, you can follow me twitch.tv/HeyQuadro. Whenever I'm making these fun mission editors or just playing Enlisted, I'd love to have you guys over there. And you can join our community Discord if you want some play testers for your cool custom games. But that's it, guys. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.